Shrimad Bhagavad Gita today, verse number 20, chapter number 5. As the shlok goes, Na prahashyet priyam prapya na udvijet prapya cha apriyam sthir buddhi asamudah brahmavit brahmani sthita. There's not much to be said about this particular verse, but yet the esoteric understanding that we draw from this particular verse is magnificent. There are three words which I would like to start with at the initial stage. Brahmavit Brahmani Sthita. The Brahmavit means one who is absorbed in the luminosity of Brahma, who's established, totally settled in the luminosity of the Brahma. This entire verse revolves around this understanding about an elevated soul which has alleviated from the ordinary evolutionary cycle to a very exalted state. Such an evolved soul is considered to be absorbed with luminosity, with the esoteric understandings of the Brahma, the Creator. He becomes himself or she, the gender is not important, he or she becomes one with the essence of the Creator. That's why we term it as Brahmavit Brahmani Sthita, established in that. What is the understanding that we draw from this particular verse about talking about that state of that exalted soul which is now established beyond any deviation, beyond any scope of alteration, any scope of mutation in the essence of the Brahma? Yeah, we certainly draw much of great utility for our own ordinary lives. Before that, let us understand about the inner state of that exalted soul. Well, I cannot easily explain what goes on within the experience of such an exalted state which is absorbed into the essence of Brahma, but certainly out of some experience which I have during my interaction with such exalted ones, I can make a mention the way they generally approach towards circumstances, subject and people. There are two prominent understandings that I've drawn by observing such exalted ones. Number one is that behind this entire this entire writing world, behind this entire writing world, they witness a governing body, a governing intelligence, I would say, that is organized, absolutely organized, moving each one towards evolution. This is one understanding that I've experienced during my personal interactions with one of the greatest exalted souls that came to my life. You can see them, despite the fact that they witness all ongoings on the surface. They are connected with all ongoings like any other ordinary human being. They respond to situations somewhat similar. If there is something which is untoward, something which is bad which is happening in the surround, they will be concerned. They will also express their views onto that. But apart from that, they prevail in two worlds at the same time. Like you and me, In our ordinary lives, whenever we confront any adverse situation, we see the situation from the aspects that is apparent to us, and we respond accordingly. Whereas the exalted ones, the ones that have been termed as Brahmavitta, Brahmani Sthita, they are in a position to sight and witness two worlds at the same time. They not only see the occurrences on the face, at the same time they're able to rise above and see the larger plot through which everything has been connived to manifest. It is something like you and me are able to see two conflicting people fighting with each other, exchanging acrimony upon a trivial issue, maybe neighbors or maybe friends on a street. And at the same time, if you are able to access a view from the satellite of the planet Earth, you observe that the riot or the acrimony or the fight on a street or on streets worldwide between nations, in a city, in a state, or within a nation, is not apparent at the satellite level. At the satellite, what you see is a magnanimity, a beatitude of the earth image, which is so beautiful, blue, and settled and in harmony. You are not able to cite any fight, any rift, any conflict, any acrimony, any aggression. All ongoings are absolutely obliterated. What you only cite from there is absolutely harmonious planet. Although this example which I've given you is merely to give you a personification of towards the allegory which I want to make for an exalted soul. Exalted soul not only is able to cite the occurrences of any conflict at the street level, but at the same time, it is also able to rise above and see the larger plot like a satellite view of utmost tranquility prevailing at a larger spectrum. It can witness the turbulence at the micro level and the tranquility at the macro level. That is the kind of ability which an exalted soul benefits. And I have witnessed it during my own personal interactions that they not only get entangled, involved in small issues that come in front of them, but at the same time they are also in a position to withdraw and see the things in a larger spectrum. The second prominent feature which such exalted ones, let me write exalted ones. Now these exalted ones are the one which I have been termed here as Brahmavat, Brahmani, Sthita. The second thing is that they are able, these exalted ones, they sight indifference between different people. You see, when you meet people in your life, you see some are very good, some are not very good, some are bad, and you are able to take your views upon that and then you respond accordingly. Whereas with the exalted ones, the situation is slightly different. The situation is slightly different from the aspects of their inner state. Apparently, they would also respond to different people differently. It's not so that they will respond wicked and a sage in the same manner. No, it's not so. The discrimination will remain when it comes to apparent response on the surface. But at the back end, when it comes to understand beyond the stage, that is not only on stage but also off stage, they are able to understand and cite that indifference between different people. For them, at that level, there is nothing bad, nothing good. Why? because they understand that in this cycle of evolution, each distinctive soul is at a different level of evolution. Some people are yet to be evolved, and some of them are highly evolved. But at the same time, they understand, very well understand, that everybody is the same journey. Like a student who is in the nursery class and a gentleman or a gentle lady who has recently accomplished their doctorate. The one that has accomplished doctorate has no right to say that the one who is in nursery is a nomad. No, it's not like that. They are in different aspects of their life. According to the norms of the age, they have now graduated and accomplished as a doctorate, and the one who has just passed on the phase of a toddler has now come into the nursery. So they are very well able to understand for different beings which being in the stage of evolution is at the stage of as a toddler, or which one has accomplished the doctorate. These two prominent features can be very easily observed in the conduct of the exalted ones. Such exalted ones are born, B-O-R-N-E. This word is very important. Born with a subtle, unwavering, I would use this word, unwavering understanding. This unwavering understanding or a subtle understanding is something which is called as Sthir Buddhi. Intellect is prone to doubt and skepticism every minute. All intruding thoughts, suggestions from the outside world come and easily thwart our understanding. However deep knowledge we may have on a subject, it happens to us, with all of us, that one virus, which is a dissenting one, comes to contaminate the complete structure of understanding upon a subject, and then we come under the clutches of our doubt and skepticism, and everything gets stalled into that line. Here it is said that one who is the exalted ones has already relinquished all aspects that could waver their understanding of being exalted or being submerged in exaltedness. Their understanding, their intellect is now begone with that wavering aspects. It's absolutely settled, established. And this word, asamud, means devoid of any doubt, devoid of doubts. This unwavering understanding is devoid of any doubts. Come what may, any kind of a intrusion of contaminating virus that may thwart, these people are totally immune. Nothing can move them because their bedrock of understanding becomes their own existence. When your own understanding, deep understanding overwhelms you at your existence level, then nothing can come and pierce or infiltrate within your own self. And these exalted ones experience it day and night. The first line says, and then they are not moved with any exuberance that a small victory may bring, or any dismay that a small failure might accrue to them. Because generally, as a human being, while surfing through the life, different incidents, different experiences, they bring joy to us, a sense of exuberance, achievement, and we also confront failures, dismay, disgruntlement, depression, etc. For people who are exalted, for people who see no difference between different people, for people who are exalted and who see a highly organized governing body, the cosmic intelligence behind all right, one who have an unwavering understanding, devoid of any doubts, such people do not get injected with the exuberance of a victory or a disgruntlement of a failure. They keep moving towards their own personal objectives. That exalted ones, they have their lofty objectives, lofty ideals. They keep moving towards them, unwavering of what are the ongoings. This is a great lesson for all of us. We may not be exalted ones, but this understanding is a beacon to us. We all have our own distinctive pursuits, objectives in lives to cherish. And it happens day in, day out with us. A small sense of achievement inflates into us a lot of confidence, and a small failure or a chain of failure drains out that all creative resource out of us. Why can't we borrow even a superficial understanding from the exalted ones of these 2 points and unwaveringly, without any scope of doubt, keep moving to cherish our vital objectives? See you in the next classroom. Second and last Sunday of every month at 9:30, the live broadcast. Thank you.